Ma'am, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, shall we start the program?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
A pleasant good morning to all. First of all, I'd like to thank God for this webinar on behalf of Department of Computer Science, National Catholic College of Arts and Science. I am welcoming the dignitaries, faculties, and all the participants. Sunshine is the welcoming thing that bring lot of brightness, charming words a welcoming thing that bring lot of hopefulness. Now, I would like to
Good morning to all. I would like to begin my speech with Thirukural. ஞாலம் கருதினும் கைகூடும் காலம் கருதி இடத்தார் செய்யின். The pace of innovation and accomplishment is already fast, but will grow even faster. We need to update our knowledge in day-to-day life. This webinar, especially the theme Machine Learning and its Applications, which we have chosen, is very applicable for today's context. First of all, I feel honored to have with us our dear correspondent and secretary, Reverend Father Recommends Michael. You have made all of us proud by your creative work in numerous capacities. Welcome you, dear Father. On behalf of Department of Computer Science, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our dear principal, Mr. Meenakshi Sundararajan, a man of vision and a fountainhead of illuminating ideas. Welcome you, sir, for this webinar. To be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. I extend my heartfelt welcome to our resource person and our chief guest, Dr. Vinila Jini, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering from Nur al-Islam Center of Higher Education. She is an ideal of knowledge and experience. We believe that you will be an inspiration to each one of us, and your words are become the shining star in our thoughts. We welcome you to fulfill our knowledge with your precious words. Welcome
Th-
you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I'm and technical staff by the words of Shekwara. விதைத்துக் கொண்டே இருங்கள், முளைத்தால் மரம், இல்லையேல் மண்ணிற்கு உரம். This quote is very much suitable for you. First of all, I thank you for your hard work and your great effort to sow the seed of creative ideas, new thoughts in the heart of youngsters. With grateful heart, I welcome you for this webinar. I am wholeheartedly welcome our dear coordinator, Dr. Sinsi, Assistant Professor of Department of Computer Science from Nanjil Catholic College, who organized this webinar very effectively and creatively. Welcome you, dear ma'am. A warm welcome goes to all the participants. You show your enthusiasm and eager to learn new things by joining in time for this webinar. Your great support and love gives us energy. I welcome you all, dear friends. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Now, I will ask our coordinator, Dr. Sinsi, to introduce the resource person.
I am profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce the chief guest,
Dr. S. Vinila Jini. She is the Associate Professor of the Nurul Islam Center for Higher Education at Kumarakoyal, which one of the topmost research center of the current era. She has awarded PhD in the year 2016 at Nurul Islam Center for Higher Education. She has 15 years experience in the teaching field and her research guidance started 2016 onwards. She published 37 research articles and presented 6 national and international conferences. Also submitted a project to DST. It is under consideration of UGC. 6 students pursuing PhD under her guidance. She actively participated many conferences and workshops and completed 3 online NPTEL courses. Now I request the Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. S. Vinila Jini, to address the gathering and cast the light of her knowledge upon us.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Good morning to all. First, I thank Lord Almighty to be with you all in this section. Especially, I thank Professor Sinsi Madam for arranging such a platform to share about machine learning and its application. Okay, before going into the discussion, I want to know from your side whether I am audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, also you check for the presentation too. I will place the presentation.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. So today's discussion is all about Science and Engineering Department of Nurul Islam Center for Higher Education. So I'm interested in research area of machine learning. So I'm here to tell a little bit that I know. Okay. So we all computer science people always doing our level best to make in and around smarter. Have you ever wondered about Gmail application which we are using daily? So it is able to detect spam mail and it is able to categorize in spam category. How is it possible? Have you ever tagged your friends in image on Facebook? So Facebook is suggesting you the name of your friends whom you want to tag. How it is possible? Did you think over that? So it is able to recognize the faces and give suggestions for you. So all that, the answer is machine learning. Not only Facebook and Google, but every big and small firms are using machine learning and its tools. So it becomes very, very necessary for us or for all of us to upgrade ourselves with the latest trending technology, machine learning. So in addition to this machine learning, we are with the trending technologies like artificial intelligence, data science, big data. All this together revolutionize our computer science nowadays. Okay, so you should be familiar with these topics to be hired by good company. Okay, today we are going to study about what is machine learning. Why we go for machine learning? How does machine learning works? The types of machine learning, algorithms of machine learning, and some applications of machine learning. Before looking into what is machine learning, we need to understand the origin of machine learning. So when you see in 1950, so there was a person in computer field, Alan Turing. So in his paper, he published a research paper. In his paper, he quoted like, can machines think? So there, the thing, machine learning originated. And then after years of research work, in 1959, Arthur Samuel, he was also a computer scientist, and he said this machine learning is a field of study that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. And many people who are all involved in machine learning and learned many things about of that. And nowadays, and later at the last, the main definition given by the person Tom M. Mittal in the year 1997. He is saying that the machine is going to do something. Okay, keep in mind the computer is going to do some task T. So this task will be effective in the measure of P. We are measuring the effectiveness of that task by a performance P. Okay. So if you are able to improve the performance P with experience, then we can decide that machine is learning. So this is the definition given by Tom M. et al. When you read this, you may get confused with the definition, what this person has given. Actually, he is telling if some task will be done by computer, it is going to give some performance P, right? So when you give some training or experience to this machine, it will be improving its performance. It can do the task effectively. That is what machine learning. Okay. So when you...
Ma'am, excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Your screen is not moving, ma'am.
Oh,
Okay, ma'am.
no, okay. So this is what I have told you. So the last definition given, the standard definition about machine learning is given by the person Tom M. et al. In the year 1997. So as I have told, so if computer machine has to improve means by experience, if it is able to improve, we can say that machine has the capability of learning. Okay, so it will be day-to-day life as human being. So growing, this computer is able to grow. Okay, that's what machine learning. So in general, when we come to a normal state, we need to give a standard definition for machine learning. So the standard definition for machine learning is it's an application of artificial intelligence. So hope we all heard about this artificial intelligence in the earlier years. So it is this machine learning is a part of this artificial intelligence, and this machine learning is giving the ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. So this is what the standard definition of machine learning. So this machine is going to predict the future. So it is able to classify information to help people in making necessary decisions. These all things can be provided by this machine learning machine. Okay, the machine that has the ability of learning. Okay, so we will be training this machine with some examples through which they are learning from past experience. So how examples means that are all past experience. It is going to understand what has happened. If yes, the output is Y. Likewise, it will be trying to understand. Both it is understanding, that is input and output, it is learning, and it is able to analyze that data, and it is maintaining as a historical data. As it trains over the examples again and again, it is able to identify a new pattern like X when we give it to this machine, and it will be able to predict what is this set. Okay, that is, it is able to predict about the future. So that is what machine learning. So this, when you see about this machine learning, it is a combination of computer science, mathematics, and statistics. So where this comes, statistics, we don't mind that computer science people alone can learn machine learning, don't mind upon. So this computer science people knows only computer science. If they add with them this mathematics and statistics, then they can become a machine learning engineer. Otherwise, they can't become a machine learning engineer. So for machine learning, they need computer science knowledge, mathematics knowledge, and statistics knowledge. That is very important. So all people in all fields can come into this machine learning. Okay. So statistics is essential for bringing out a normal conclusion from the available data. So some set of data will be given. We will be placing using statistics. You will be analyzing, and you will be able to find out facts out of that data. That is supported by this statistics. And when you see about this mathematics, second, so this mathematics is used to develop a particular model out of this data. The machine learning models can be developed using mathematics. So finally comes this computer science, and it is used for implementing algorithms. So first we need to know statistics, then we need to know mathematics for designing mathematical models, and then finally it's enough to have some software knowledge to implement these things. Okay. So simply building model is not enough. We must also optimize or tune the model appropriately so that it provides us with accurate results. So the primary aim of this machine learning is to allow the computers learn automatically without human intervention. Okay. So, so now, is it necessary to understand that why we need this machine learning also? So there are a lot of area where this machine learning is applied. So the first character that we need to know is to sort prolific and unstructured data. See, so we know the technology called Internet of Things. Every objects are connected to the network through some sensors and some boards that supports in connecting with the network devices. So through which a lot of information is available today. Data, data, data. We can't have it. So wherever you go, headlines, reports, white papers, when you see that, everything is all about data. Because of this rise of big data and data science, we need some technique to learn, synthesize, and act upon all that data to bring out good things. So for that, we need machine learning. So machine learning algorithms helps to sort out this prolific and unstructured data. So when there is abundant data, it helps us to recommendation. So if there is less data, we can do it with normal data mining is enough. But see, what about your experience? You think over your parents. They will be having more experience than us. Why? They have crossed about some 10 to 15 years than us. We are now 30, they'll be some 50. Okay, 20 years they have, 20 more years experience is there. So additional 20 years data is with them. The same thing is here. If the data is high, the machine will respond properly. The accuracy will be good. So we need abundant data. That is good. So that will help us to give good recommendations for taking good decisions. It is going to support. So abundant data is needed, and the technique that can analyze this abundant data is machine learning algorithm. Okay, that's the third thing, quantified self. See, we know nowadays we all are using smart uh, devices, smart devices like smart watch, etc., etc. Many things we are using. So we are able to quantify ourselves. We are able to track our heartbeat through this smart device. There are smart watches which will be tracking our heartbeats, pressure, everything. So that we can quantify ourselves, or we can track ourselves, so that if anything we can respond immediately. So in order to analyze immediately, we need some algorithm. That is what this machine learning. And see, that is the third need. Then we go for need some motivation. You see, you are a person, you are a normal human being, you all have problems similar to normal people. Every people has their own problems. Okay, if they are in a mood, very depressed mood, he is not in control. He himself cannot come out of that depressed state. So he needs some motivation. If there is something that makes us, help us to motivate ourselves to be effective. For example, we are very sad today. So by seeing our reactions or our emotions, if there is a device which is able to bring out a normal environment to us, like happy environment, or bringing out our friend towards us. Likewise, if it happens, it will be very easy to come out of that sad moment. Okay, so how it is possible? By sensing our information through it, it will be stored in the data. From that data, it will be analyzing, and from that analysis, it will be finding the fact and help to give us an environment that triggers our motivation. So that is possible. And who can do this? That machine learning algorithms are doing all these things. Okay. And here, when you see there are data. So there comes abundant computation. So abundant computation, which needs some additional techniques that supports for this computation, and there comes machine learning. So for that only we go for machine learning. And now we want to know, how does machine learning works? So, as I have already told, there are exponential increase in data. There is a need for having a system that can handle this massive load of data. So, this ML algorithm uses the patterns contained in the training data. It is going to perform some classification, and through this classification, it is going to predict the feature. So whenever a new input is introduced to the machine model, it applies its learned patterns over the new data to make future prediction. See, from the diagram you can understand. So you are taking the input data, analyzing the data, and you are finding some patterns. So some patterns only you are learning. So then through with the help of these patterns, it is predicting. So after once it has predicted, again it is learning back, stores the feedback. That is the thing in machine learning. You have to keep in mind. It is going to store the feedback again so that it is learning from its experience. In this way only. This is the basic working of machine learning. And when you see about this machine learning, there are as similar to data mining. Here also we have 3 types of machine learning types. So we can classify it into 3: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. Basic. Okay, this is the basic classification of machine learning. So the first is supervised learning. So here in supervised learning, the data set will be used. There will be having some label. For example, you say you will give the tomato, show the tomato and say it is red in color. So red in, when it is red, when it is round, we can say it is tomato. The label is tomato. So the feature is red, the shape is round, we can say this tomato, label is tomato. Both the things you are going to say, the color, shape, and the label. The 3 things you are going to say, and you are training the system. As similar to that way, you are going to train millions of data. This was supervised learning. Both the input and output you are going to tell to the system, and it is going to, when a new input you are going, it is able to predict the output. So that is supervised learning. So it is under your control. You have the control. Whatever you said, for example, if I am giving a green leaf, I am showing the green leaf and telling that it is yellow, it will be learning as such. Whatever you are giving, it will be learned. So that is what supervised learning. Okay. So from the diagram, you can understand for supervised learning, there is a best example, that is the Gmail app. So in the Gmail app, we are getting many types of mails and many junk mails too we are getting. Okay. So when these junk mails are there, that sometimes becomes a problem. So we cannot find out the required mail. So if we need to get the required mail, you may think that if it is categorized, it will be very good. I am able to get my needed mail. So now it is there in Gmail app. Now every mails are categorized in reports, then updates, some primary mails, etc. And to spam mails are also categorized. How it is possible? There comes a supervised learning algorithm, which we are telling some keywords. You are giving some keywords. If you find such and such keywords, or if you are able to find files with such and such extension, it should be categorized as spam. So we are writing an algorithm, you are supervised learning algorithm. You are going to teach that algorithm, and you are framing that algorithm and placing that, and this is going to analyze or categorize whether it is spam or not. So through it separates the mail, so the normal people will be aware of the primary mail. They will be going and looking into only the primary mail, and they are able to go for normal schedule instead of going into the clumsy mail environment. So that's the best example for supervised learning algorithm. Second type of algorithm is, so when you come under the supervised learning algorithm, we have 2 types of techniques. One is classification, the other one is regression. So in classification, how you are going to do the classification, that is training, means that you will be giving the set of features and corresponding yes or no. For example, you consider we are going to give some symptoms of a fever. symptoms set as temperature. Let us have temperature and let us have the features temperature, and the output is if temperature above 98 degree, we will be giving as yes. If below 98 degree, we are saying no. So the label is yes or no. So this is our classification. So based on this temperature feature, or you can have additional features, many features can be added. So based on the feature values, the corresponding label will be done. So that is what the classification. When you come under regression, so it is in classification, you are going to get either yes or no, or some red or blue, either one or two values, one or two or three values, classification. Whereas in regression, there is no fixed value. The output will be some quantified values. So if we have some set of values, for example, you analyze the weight of some potato. Okay, so if the potato size is some 5 diameter and its length is some 6 centimeter, etc. Based on this, you can say the weight of the potato is some 1 kg or 0.5 kg. So the value differs. It is not going to say whether it is weight is high or low. It is not going to say that. When it says weight is high or low, it is called classification. When it says the actual value, it is called regression. That's the difference between classification and regression in supervised learning. So next comes the learning method is unsupervised learning. So in unsupervised learning, so here we are not going to give any label. So there will not be any yes or no. So you will be given a set of data will be given as input. Those data with similar values will be grouped as group 1. Those with some other similar values will be grouped into group 2. Other group will be grouped another group. Okay, based on similar value or similar patterns, it is going to form groups in itself. It is automatically forming groups itself. We are not giving such a group, the name is 1, group, this group name is 2. Likewise, we are not going to give any label. By itself, the algorithm is forming groups, and through which if we are going to give a new input, it is going to categorize that input to corresponding groups. That's it. It's not known what is happening inside or what is there inside. It's just based on the similar data, similar patterns, it is going to form the groups, and these groups itself, it will be maintaining itself as group 1, group 2, etc. When you give new input, it will be categorizing that to, if you are giving a data similar to group 1 means it will be moved to group 1. If you are giving some data related group 2 means it will be moved to group 2. This is what happening in unsupervised learning. So when you see, we see an example. See, this is an example for unsupervised learning. See the set of images. So here we are having Mickey Mouse, then some rabbit, Donald Duck, etc. So the similar characters are grouped into one, the other characters are grouped in the other two. So this is what unsupervised learning. You don't know what it is, but they are forming groups. Through which they are forming itself groups, and when new input is given, based on the similarity of the groups, it is moved to the corresponding group. So in this way, it is learning itself. Okay. So when it come under the character of unsupervised, there are two types: clustering and association. So clustering means, as I have told, it will be forming grouping of data. Okay, for example, customer behavior means the person who all buy bread jam will be grouped in one. The person who all buy bread and egg will be grouped in other thing. So in this way, it will be learning. Okay, that is what clustering. Whereas in association role mining, you are going to what that if that people, you are going to find the 5 facts out of that groups. For example, I have told you the person buying bread jam comes under group. Here in association, it will be forming a rule called when the person buy bread, he will buy jam. That is the fact it is learning in association. When the person who is buying some computer will buy printer. So that rules by itself it is forming. It will be seeing the customer transactions. The customers, if they are buying computer printer together, if there are many record transactions similar to like that, means it will be fixing an association rule. that the person whoever is buying computer will buy printer. That is the fact it is learning. So this is the way, these are the two basic ways through which unsupervised learning happens. Okay. The third type of learning is reinforcement learning. So reinforcement, so in the other two categories, we are giving some input, it is learning, and through some information, it is learning. When you give new data from all millions of data, it is going to learn in supervised and unsupervised. In reinforcement learning, you will be giving some input, it will be acting accordingly, and it will be giving some output by itself. If that output it is given to us, and we will be telling that the output is right, or we can say whether it is right or wrong. If we give the reward as right, means it will be improving, it will be storing that. If we say it as wrong, it will be deleting that and goes for restructuring that. This is what reinforcement learning. So reinforcement learning is from the diagram you can understand. See, so there is an agent, so it will be learning from the environment what is happening. So it will be doing some action in the environment, and if it is rewarded, it will be storing. Rewarded means positive. If it is negative, it won't be. The reward is negative means it won't be stored. It is going to learn from the feedback of the environment, reinforcement learning. So for example, you find automatic car which is driving, automatic car driving. Okay, here it will be moving in the direction. If it finds a stubble or there, huddle there, and if it is, automatically it will be getting a negative feedback through the sensors. Okay, so when there is the second time when it moves in the same position, it will not be moving towards that position, because at that position it has rewarded with negative point. So it is not moving towards that. That becomes a problem. And it learns by this feedbacks of that particular environment, action happening, rewards taking, and it will be acting accordingly. This is what reinforcement learning. And this main aim of this algorithm is to reach a goal in a dynamic environment. Dynamic means it doesn't know what happens. It sees if there is any problem, it will be returning back. If no problem, it will be moving the same direction. Okay, so it can reach this goal based on several rewards that is provided to it by the system. So best example for reinforcement learning is intelligent self-driving cars. So these are the various types of machine learning algorithms. Okay, so now we'll move on to the next slide. So this is an example for reinforcement learning. Okay, so it is observing, selecting some action using some policy. If the action provides some negative points, it is not going to, it can understand it is bad. The second time, it is not going to do that. So this is what reinforcement learning. So next, we'll see the various machine learning algorithms that is normally used in techniques for solving some problems. The first and foremost algorithm that is used is classification. So the goal is to determine what group a given input belongs to. So classification means you will be giving it some input, and we have to decide where it has to go. Okay, so this is the classification, whether it goes to red group or blue group, or if it is a color matching problem, you can say whether it goes to red group, or you will give some color, or you will be giving some object, and you can ask the machine what to do. The machine automatically, either it moves to red, compare the features and tells whether it to move to red group or green group. How it is going to find these features? So normally RGB color features will be taken, and based on this value, RGB values, it is going to classify it into color groups. So that is what classification. So when you see about this classification, it is going to determine where to place the corresponding input. So the machine is trained on data with many examples of input, like image or anything. So in addition to the input, the corresponding output also given as label. So for example, if we are going to train the system with animal, we are going to make the system to understand cat or dog. Okay, so you will be giving a lot pictures of cat, and we will be trying to give the picture. So this picture also cat. This picture you will be giving many color varying, size varying pictures as input, and you will be telling the machine that these are all the pictures of cat. Similarly, you will be giving some pictures of dog with various color, variation in the coloring, pattern, anything, size, etc. And you will be giving some set of pictures as input, and you will be training the system as it is dog. Now, when you give a new input, either a cat or dog, it is able to predict that it is a cat or dog. So you are training the model with a million of pictures of dogs and cats. And finally, it is able to classify the picture of the new dog that is given, that is not in the training data. So that is what happening in classification. So in the example you can say, so you are giving input, some images, and finally you will be giving a new input. It should be able to find out. So that is the basic technique behind classification, and this is the same thing which we use in data mining. And here it is going to, in data mining, you'll be, whatever set you will be giving some new, and when you give new thing, it is able to identify. In machine learning, it is able to predict new feature. It is able to form new images too. That is also possible in machine learning. So in data mining, just to give input images, it is able to identify. But in machine learning, if you ask for drawing an image of cat, it is able to do. That is machine learning. That's the additional thing that is available in machine learning than the data mining. Okay. So next is regression. The next best algorithm that is used in machine learning is regression. It is also similar to classification, but as I have already told you, it is going to give some quantity values. Okay. It is not going to say some yes or no. It will be giving some value out of that. As I have already told, when you give some potato as input, and if it is able to tell the weight of that potato, that problem is called regression. If it is able to say whether potato is yes or no, that is potato. Yes or no means that is classification. If it is able to tell the weight of potato, we can say that's regression. Okay. So this are so it's similar to classification, but it is going to give the quantified value. We'll see a diagram for this regression. See, for the first person, I am saying it is 89 years old. Second person 18 years. The next person 32 years. The next person 58. So we are going to train the machine about the age of some persons. How? Based on the hair characteristics or the face skin characteristics, you are training the system. So the features will be either hair characteristics, skin characteristics, then facial some characters. These becomes the features. Through this, if the person has such and such feature of skin, such and such feature of face, and if such and such feature of hair is damaged, we can say they belongs to the category of 18 years. And if they don't have less hair and less skin tone is very less, and we can say it comes under the category of 89 years. This you are training, and then at the last you are going to give a new input, new face to the system, and you are asking you guess the age of that person, and it is able to guess the age, and that problem is called regression. Okay, so this is regression. The same thing in data mining, but in machine learning it is able to find whatever there will be the additional things, everything can be identified using regression. So this is what the regression characteristics. Okay, and next comes the algorithm clustering. So as I have already told, clustering is also an important algorithm that is used in machine learning. And here you will be the set of data you will be giving as input. And the set of data will be grouped, and we are not going to give the label here, only input. Whereas in classification regression, we are going to give input and output and training. Here clustering only input, through that by itself it is forming clusters and able to come to a final conclusion. Okay, this is what clustering. See, it's like this. The diagram you can understand. So it is we are giving some different shapes of objects, and by itself it is classifying it into this pentagon and the star. It is able to classify. By through classification, it is able to understand it by itself. It is classifying as group, and it will be forming as group 1, group 2, and it's not going to give you any name. But now if I am giving a new shape of some octagon, it is able to, it's not going to, how it will be categorizing that? So it will be forming it as new group. So it says it is not it will be telling the information that it is not pentagon, it is not star, it is different from that. Likewise, it will be telling the answer. So that's dot clustering, and it will be forming the new things, whichever is coming, it will be learning and grouping it into a separate group, and it forms and learns. This is what clustering. And next algorithm, so whichever is used in this machine learning, is decision tree algorithm. So hope you all learned this decision tree in machine learning. The same thing we are using in machine learning. And here this decision trees are supervised type, as similar to classification problem. It is also supervised type of machine learning algorithm. And here it is going to take some input, and it is able to take output also. Input and output both are given to decision tree. Okay, so the main character of this decision tree problem is it is going to give the apt decision out of some problem. Okay, and these decision trees are mainly used for predictive modeling. And here this decision tree structure can be used for both as a regression problem or for classification problem. So decision tree learning algorithm supports both classification and regression cases. As I have already told, classification means just the categorical value, whereas regression, quantitative values will be used. Okay, so this is all about decision tree learning algorithm. And there, this comes support vector machine learning algorithm. So this is a good learning algorithm, and it is able to classify data based on the supervised character only. So it can perform linear classification as well as non-linear classification. When you make a comparative study on this classification, clustering, and the support vector machine, the support vector machine performs well compared to that algorithm. So such an efficient algorithm is support vector machine algorithm. And then the algorithm uses this artificial neural network. So it is an additional thing. So hope you all heard about this deep learning. So the deep learning basics is all about neural networks. Okay, it is going to have the new human nervous system. It is modeling human nerve, how this human nervous system is working, and it is able to predict whatever the human able to predict. Everything can be predicted using this artificial neural networks. Okay, it's similar, similar to the human networks. It is okay. And it is the advanced of all algorithm, which I have told earlier. Okay, it is able to, through this artificial neural network only, this machine learning is turning into deep learning. When you see the analysis, comparative study of what is AI, what is this machine learning, and what is this deep learning means, this deep learning is a part of this machine learning. Machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence. So under artificial intelligence, the enhanced part is machine learning. In machine learning, even enhanced part is this deep learning. Hope you got it. So deep learning is the nowadays the every technical machine learning algorithm is booming because of this deep learning only. It is using some neural network characteristics so that it can effectively learn, make the machine learn more effectively than normal. Because the artificial neural calculations will be, at the earlier days, it is not known to the people. They don't know how to use these neural networks. So they don't use about it. So at the earlier days itself, we know about neural networks, but in most of the places, it's not used and it's not successful. Nowadays, the people have identified how to find this, how to use these neural networks with machine learning algorithm that produced this deep learning. So this artificial neural network is a good algorithm that is used in machine learning, that is performing, giving high accuracy in algorithms. So now we'll see the various machine learning algorithms that is available. So when you see about this algorithm, applications, there are a lot of applications that is available. The first application you can say the machine learning in education. Hope you all know this in education field will be if it is good, that is if the teacher is able to know what the student expects, then they can change themselves or change their way of teaching. So how that can be identified, how we can understand each and every student will be expecting a different thing and everything need to be analyzed. So this machine learning can able to analyze each and every student's feedback. If you are able to give everything as data, there is machine learning algorithm which is going to analyze this data and give an output that the student is expecting these characteristics from the corresponding stock. It can identify, it can give you the correct percentage what character is expected from this science teacher or maths teacher or a computer science teacher. So this even can be identified through this machine learning algorithms. In that way, this machine learning algorithms are working properly. Okay, so thus it can be used in education field. And when you see about search, second application comes in the search engine. So hope you all know nowadays we are using Google search engine. Have you ever used the various applications given by this Google? Google is providing a lot of application. We are able to search a word using through our voice. Hope you all know. We can talk. We can talk and get whatever needed. How it is possible? So there is a technique called voice recognition. Behind that, this machine learning algorithm is working there. Okay, so it is able to analyze your voice through which it is able to identify the words what you have told and it is giving you the pages that support that words. So such a advanced app is there in Google. So that's all behind this machine learning. So it is able to find if you are giving an image, for example, in Google, you give an image as input, you are able to identify or get sites related to that image. Image can be given as input, normal text can be given as input, your audio can be given as input, even video you can give as input. So all that can be analyzed and they are able to give you search, give you the pages supporting to that. How it is possible? It's all come under the characteristics of machine learning. And then comes in machine learning, digital marketing. So hope you all know. So when you will be using Facebook, you will be using all these things there. So when you are browsing something, you are getting some ads of some dresses, you will be getting ads of some chappals, etc. So if you click that one of that ad, the next day you will get 10 of that ad. How it is possible? Because they are tracking they are tracking your activities, actions, what you are doing there. So by a single click, they are learning your character. So you are able to, they are expecting that. The next day, he will be expecting such an ads. If they are looking into that ads, they will be tempted towards getting that. So that they know. So based on that, based on that character, they are suggesting the things to do. So that's what digital marketing. So that thing happening. Even in our Google Gmail, we are getting ads. So if based on the mails you are sending, so if you are purchasing something or placing some order through this Gmail, so if you are placing an order for a particular book related to computer science, next day in the Google page, whichever you are searching, you will get the ad of books related to that. So this all comes under the characteristics of digital marketing through this machine learning. So machine learning is helping all these things to happen. So next application is machine learning in healthcare. Have you ever thought about how this machine learning is supporting the healthcare? So hope you all know about the smart watch working. How the smart watch is working. So actually, the smartwatch is having a lot of sensors in it. So it is able to get all information related to that particular person who is wearing that. So that information will be through the sensors, it is received and it will be sent to the data center. From that data center, they are able to monitor what is happening. So this data, once data is received, who comes there in? The machine learning comes there in. The machine learning algorithm is applied on that data and is able to predict the new thing. For example, if you are wearing the smartwatch and it is regularly monitoring your heartbeat, right? So this heartbeat will be the day, every minute your heartbeat is stored as data. And by the various fluctuation in the heartbeat, the machine learning can understand within 1 or 2 years you may get some problem. It can identify. Okay, how it is predicting from, because it has learned from various experience, or we have given some various millions of inputs data through which it has already learned. Now when it sees this new data, it is able to predict a new thing which cannot be predicted by human being. That is what machine learning. So this machine learning is used in healthcare industry. So this is a little application. It is used in most of the various applications. In everywhere we are using this machine learning. So though this machine learning is used in various applications, it has some advantages and disadvantages. So when you see the main advantages, it is going to supplement data mining. Hope you all know we are doing this data mining at the earlier days itself. So data mining is analyzing all this data. When this data has improved a lot, huge data, big data, so we need some algorithm techniques that has to analyze such big data, and that is what machine learning. Data mining alone is not able to find the fact. Data mining is able to find some fact, but predicting future is not possible. And this machine learning is able to predict future than data mining. The basic characteristics data mining, but it is able to predict a new future. That is what it is going to supplement this data mining, and it is able to automate the task. So in the other cases, we'll be giving some input and it will be producing some output. And from this output, the machine learning algorithm is going to train itself, and it gets automatically, it will be doing the task by itself. If some input and output is given, if the machine is able to form its algorithm own, then it is called machine learning. So that these are the two important advantages through which we are achieving in machine learning. But there it too has disadvantage in machine learning. So in machine learning, so time constraint. So time constraint is in learning. See, as I have already told you, if the experience is high, we'll learn many things and we have many things to say. But experience less means the data in us will be very less compared to. So you can compare you with your teachers. Students can compare yourself with the staffs. So actually staffs have better experience than you. So they can know many things than you. So it is better when the experience is high, the output is high. So similar to the same character is used in machine learning. If the input is high, experience, you have to give a lot of millions of data for learning, and if learning is high, the output will be very high and very accurate. So for learning, it will be taking time. So there will require some time constraint in learning. The learning takes many time. So if the learning is achieved successfully, the output will be very, very accurate. Okay, and the second disadvantage is problems with verification. Sometimes there will be some problems, like some problems will be thinking that we will be thinking that the output given by the machine is right, but sometimes it may go wrong, and there is no way to verify. Okay, sometimes because we need everything fast. Input should be there, output immediate, and if some places if it goes problem, and there is no way to verify that what is happen is happen. So there is a little disadvantage in machine learning. So it is better to use machine learning where there is less risk. So very risky places, we should be careful in utilizing these machine learning also, and less places only it will be problematic. And it is nowadays everywhere it is mostly used, and it is very successful, and there is no problem. Okay. And when you are learning about this machine learning, we need to, when if you want to use it to develop application, we need to have some tools. Okay, so this machine learning skill is a good skill through which a data scientist is able to express or do many things. By having this machine learning knowledge only, he is able to do best in his career. And in order to develop machine learning, we need, there are many tools. It's not necessary we need to go for writing code from the scratch. There are many supporting tools that are available. Okay, so hope you all heard about this sky kit, SCIKIT. So there is a tool called SCIKIT, then NLTK. So NLTK is a natural language processing tool. So it is a toolkit that supports developing machine learning. Then another application like PyTorch. PyTorch, PyTorch. So this is a tool. This is used for deep learning framework, and this was developed by Facebook AI. Okay, so it is able to, it is used in research for machine learning algorithm development and for application related to machine learning. Then some other application like Keras, Keras. Have you ever heard of? I didn't type these things in the slides, so I'm telling that. So Keras, there are some tools named as Keras. So this is a powerful API, so application program interference that interface that helps in building powerful neural networks, Keras. So it is able to run on various other simulation tools, Keras. So this Keras can be used for dynamic prototyping, and it is also easy to learn, that supports convolution neural networks, recurrent neural networks, etc. So these are some of the tools that is supported in machine learning. So more other tools means Apache Spark is there, then statistical analysis system, NumPy by Python, MLR, many tools are there. Okay, so machine learning, through machine learning, if you want to develop programs in machine learning means, you can go for using such and such tools. And we know it's not necessary that we have to go behind them. Okay, so you directly use the tool, you just install in your system, just use the steps that is given, just a guide is there, it is enough to load into, and you can. So when you think about software, that programming language which is supporting machine learning is Python. Python is the good area, good programming language that is going to support developing machine learning algorithms. And as I have already told you, this machine learning is the part of artificial intelligence, and it is that involves implementing algorithm. Okay, it is able to learn from the data or previous instances and are able to perform tasks without explicit instructions. So the learning process is all statistical. So learning process happens statistical recognition, and based on the statistical character only, we are using computer science to implement this machine learning algorithm. Okay, and this deep learning is a part of this machine learning, and the basic thing in deep learning is artificial neural network. It is going to use artificial neural networks in machine learning, and it is the most popular choice. Deep learning with machine learning is very good. It is the most popular choice in many industries, and because this neural network is able to learn from large data more accurately and also very fast. That is the main thing. It can able to learn large data and very accurate, and is very fast in learning also, this deep learning. So only we are moving from machine learning to deep learning. Okay, so in this session, so we have learned what is this machine learning and how this machine learning works, and the various algorithm, some basics of algorithm that supports machine learning, and how these computers are gaining knowledge through this machine learning, and some applications we have seen. And it's better, we computer science people, it's better to learn more in machine learning. And if we are familiar with the machine learning tools or things, and it is good when you are placed. Okay, the companies will be continuing, and if you have the knowledge on this machine learning, they will be hiring you directly. Okay, that is the very thing. So the people, students, everything should be, you focus towards this machine learning, and you can do best in your area. Thank you, everyone. Chinsi ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
any queries, ma'am?
Dear participant, if you have any doubt, please raise the question in the chat box. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. This is information section. We know about that the need of machine learning, different type of learning, and learning algorithm. You explain the topic, elaborate with real life examples. Once again, I thank for your valuable section. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Once again, I thank Cincy ma'am for giving me such an opportunity. Thank you.
Now, we conclude this section. I request Shiny from 7 MSD to deliver out of 10.
Good afternoon to all. Thank you is word used to show our gratitude to others. On golf of Nanjal Catholic College of Arts and Science, Department of Computer Science, it's my privilege to extend my gratitude to all of you for gracing this occasion and making it as a present and successful event. I thank Almighty God for all His blessings. I also wish to express my gratitude our Secretary Father M. Ekumans Michael for his providing encouragement and support and for giving an opportunity to organize this webinar. Thank you, Father. We are indeed deeply grateful to Principal Dr. A. Meenakshi Sundararajan for his constant help in all activities of the college. Thank you, sir. We are greatly thankful to our resource person, Dr. S. Vinila Jini, Associate Professor, Noor Islam Center for Higher Education, Kumarakovil, for her valuable time in her busy schedule and improving important word of wisdom. Thank you, ma'am. Also, I would like to extend my special thanks to our head of the department, Mr. K.C. Abhilash Sam Palstein, for providing encouragement and support to organize this session. Thank you, sir. We take this opportunity to extend our sincere thanks to the coordinator, Dr. Sinsi, for arranging this wonderful and informative session. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to thank all my department staff and technical staff for their extensive support to make this event successful. And special thanks to all our participants, their presence and took out their valuable time from their busy schedule. At the end, I would like to thank each and everyone who has directly or indirectly contributed to make this event successful. Thank you, everyone. Stay home, stay safe and healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Shiny. Dear participants, feedback link provided in the chat box. Please fill it and get your e-certificate. Thank you all.